The world had seen billions of rotations around its reddish star. It had 2 moons that swept in elliptical orbits around it, and had watched over the tiny life forms that slowly emerged and burgeoned into teeming multitudes that occasionally needed culling through comets or volcanic activities or flooding events, and it had overseen these carefully, making sure that enough died off, but not too many. Life had to go on. It persisted and got more complex and flourished enough that eventually it got to needing one of those extinction-level events. But that's what a world's responsibility was, tending to those important guidances, managing the life forms that swarmed on its surface. Some had even developed sentience, which brought a measure of pride to the world. But today was different. A small metal meteorite slammed into an area rich in biomass, but far from the sentient populations, and it turned out to contain an advanced life form. The world considered this interloper as it began to explore the area. It was tentative at first, but slowly, over a couple of rotations, it extended its range, plumbed the pores of dihydrogen monoxide, and was able to ignite some of the growths into small, contained fires that they sustained for hours. And then the life form did something that brought the world up short. It voiced a call that was almost musical, with some manner of verbal communication, but the world didn't need to understand its sounds. It understood its meaning. It was expressing gratitude to the world. It appreciated the comfortable temperature. It honoured the small life forms that the world had shepherded, but had turned into sustenance for the life form. On the next rotation, the life form from space made those sounds again, the message conveying thanks for another time period of the warm red light from the central star, and a plea for the world to allow them to find life forms to maintain their sustenance, with a promise that nothing would go to waste if it saw fit to oblige. The world scanned across its native sentience, looking for any of the sentiments that this alien life form had expressed. It found none. The natives only cared for building, mining, harvesting, and reproducing. The usual. Somehow, the world now found this lifeform type's attention, being focused solely on improving its own situation, to be somewhat selfish. This alien was actually appreciative of all the work and care that the world had expended as it watched over its native lifeforms. The world had to admit that it was nice to be acknowledged and appreciated. As the alien lifeform reiterated its gratitude, when the Terminator slid past it and it was subjected to the dark part of the cycle, the world felt a pang, and diverted a major storm front away from the lifeform's location. It would still have droplets of the dihydrogen monoxide falling on it, but the damaging winds wouldn't ravage its area. And the alien lifeform gave gratitude for the abundance of dihydrogen monoxide that it was collecting as one aspect of its sustenance. The world felt an emotional warmth. What a precious and thoughtful life form this alien being was. It was almost no effort to clear the clouds from around the lifeform's area, allowing the red rays of the local star to warm and dry its area. For several rotations, the world made tiny adjustments to make the alien lifeform a little more comfortable. And with every rotation, with every extinguishing of a native lifeform that would give sustenance to the alien, there was a repentance and gratitude from the alien. Somehow, that made it all have more meaning. The world began to recognize that the alien also had thanks and wishes that it expressed to the moons, and those orbiting bodies that had never been active before began to communicate with the world. Such a time the world had never experienced. As much as the moons had always orbited it, they had never been companions before. Somehow, this alien lifeform had awakened them with its expressions, and they ceased to be moons and became the moons. Slowly, over time, this alien lifeform reshaped the area around it, but always with expressions of apology at a death, gratitude for what it was able to find, or when things went beneficially for it, or relief for avoiding some calamity, depending on what kind of tasks was being undertaken. The alien lifeform even started to take up some caretaking duties for the lesser native lifeforms, building safe places away from predators, and bringing them sustenance so they can lead an easy, safe life. Even with the consumption of some of the offspring or older members of those life forms, the groups thrived. The world realized that it was nice to have help and returned the favor, giving little helpful environmental nudges to keep things as optimal as possible for the alien life form and its charges. The moons likewise felt the praise and requests from the alien life form, and did what little they could to influence small life form movements or weather patterns that might aid the alien life form. From the world's perspective, these efforts were negligible, but they brought forth gratitude towards the moons, and the world got some unearned thanks too. And that couldn't really be bad, right? But nothing lasts forever. One day, a metal comet headed straight for the world, and even as it planned for another extinction event, the comet slowed and slipped into orbit. The world found that it had a sense of self, and communicated welcome, and a questioning aspect of why it had joined the group. The comet indicated that it was a conveyance, a ship, of the alien life form, a human, and that it had come to rescue the alien life form on the surface of the world, to return it to its society. The world felt some despair at the possibility of loss of such a life form, and expressed this to the ship. It understood and responded with how satisfying it was to have these life forms within itself. It expressed its sorrow and empathy for the world, but let it know that once one of these life forms found a suitable space for existence, they wouldn't let it alone for long. It told the world to prepare for a small group of the alien life forms who would examine it, then larger groups who might arrive. They might even bring a station to become an artificial moon to aid in their time here. The world expressed pleasure. More of these life forms that appreciated the work that the world had undertaken would be a welcome change.